I knew things had gone too far the moment Anna Edwards's white BMW slammed into the concrete post I'd poured with my own 2 hands. The sound wasn't just metal collapsing, it was the crack of her power snapping in half. And as her bumper crumpled and smoke curled from her engine, all I could think was, well, physics finally did what common sense couldn't. My name's Sam Bell, a retired electrician who thought buying a corner lot in Maple Ridge Estates would give my wife Laura and me the peace we desperately needed. Laura was fighting early-stage Parkinson's, and that small patch of green grass in front of our house was one of the last things she could still enjoy. She'd sit by the window every morning sipping her tea and watching the sprinklers run like it was her little piece of paradise. And for a while it was. Then Anna Edwards moved in, or rather descended like a queen claiming her kingdom. HOA president, self-declared expert in community standards, wife of Greg Edwards, whose construction company built half the neighborhood. Their McMansion sat on the hill with fake stone lions and a fountain that hadn't worked since the Obama administration. But what Anna lacked in functioning plumbing she made up for in arrogance. The trouble started small. Tire tracks across my grass, then deeper grooves, then a clean path where her BMW carved the same shortcut every damn morning at 7:47. I asked politely. She didn't even turn around. I put up a sign. She ran it over. I called the police. She laughed, flipped her HOA badge like a sheriff in an old western, and told me to learn how things work around here. And this is the part of the story where I wish I could tell you. I stayed calm, meditated, let it go. Nope. I'm a retired electrician. I believe in circuits boundaries and things staying exactly where they damn well belong. I tried the HOA hearing route once. Big mistake. I walked into a room with 3 of Anna's best friends pretending to take notes while she lectured me about community harmony. They fined me $250 because my sprinklers disrupted neighborhood tranquility. My sprinklers. The same sprinklers she'd shredded with her tires. I walked out furious enough to melt the wiring right out of my own breaker box. That night Laura tried to soothe me. "She's not worth your health, Sam," she whispered, hands shaking as she held her mug. And for a moment, just one moment, I believed her. I thought maybe I should let it go. Let the bully have her little shortcut. I stared at Laura, frail but hopeful, and I wondered if I was the problem. Was I too attached to a stupid corner of grass? Was I escalating something that didn't need escalation? But then I saw it. As I sat on the couch, head in my hands, I watched Anna drive by again. Not just cutting across the grass, smirking, laughing, waving like she owned the damn world. And something in me snapped back into place. Not anger, not revenge, just principle. People like Anna don't stop when you bend. They stop when something unbreakable stands in front of them. So I went to Tony's Hardware, bought motion-triggered floodlights, low-voltage wire metal stakes, waterproof connectors, the good stuff. Tony raised an eyebrow. "Problem neighbor?" he asked. "Something like that," I said. "She keeps using my lawn as her personal driveway." He laughed. "Then let there be light." By Monday, my yard glowed like a runway. 8,000 lumens ready to hit the windshield of anything larger than a house cat. Right on schedule, 7:47 a.m. Here came the BMW. She cut across the corner and boom! My lights triggered, blasting her in the face with the brightness of Jesus returning. Her ABS screamed louder than she did. She slammed on the brakes so hard, I swear her soul tried to exit through the sunroof. For 30 glorious seconds, she just sat there, blinded, frozen. Then she floored it anyway, flinging sod everywhere. The next morning, same thing. She honked this time like I'd inconvenienced her. Curtains all up and down the street twitched. Neighbors started grabbing their coffee early just to watch Karen vs. Physics Episode 2. But Karen doesn't lose gracefully. Thursday night she crept onto my lawn wearing all black like a villain in a Disney Channel spy movie. My cameras caught everything, her kicking my floodlights, yanking wires, stomping around like she was casting out demons. What she didn't know, backup battery. Everything recorded in HD. She filed a violation the next morning claiming my lights threatened community tranquility. I laughed so hard I almost choked on my coffee. Laura didn't laugh. She watched the footage of Anna attacking my setup and her voice trembled. She's going to keep pushing Sam. She won't stop until she wins. And that's when the universe decided to hand me the biggest plot twist of my life. An insurance adjuster came to check the damage Anna caused. Halfway through, he frowned, looked at the survey markers and said, "Mr. Bell, these boundaries look off. According to subdivision plats, your property goes farther." "How much farther?" I asked. "About 15 feet. 15 feet. That meant every morning for months Anna wasn't just being rude, she was trespassing on land that legally belonged to me. And not just a little. She'd practically been driving through my living room. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, all I could hear was, "She's been driving on your property." So I called Peter Hall, a retired surveyor buddy. He showed up with his laser rig, took one look and said, "Oh yeah, Sam, someone moved those stakes." It wasn't an accident. Greg Edwards, developer builder, king of cutting corners, had literally redrawn property lines to benefit their precious corner lot. Across the whole neighborhood, Anna confronted me that evening, stomping toward me like a malfunctioning wind-up doll. "You think you can move property lines?" she snapped. "My husband built this neighborhood." I handed her Peter's signed report. "Guess he forgot to follow the map." Her face twisted. "People like me make people like you disappear." I just smiled. "Lady, I built systems that can withstand lightning strikes. You're static." And that's when the real war began. With the survey in hand, I designed something Anna couldn't ignore, a concrete bollard 42 inches tall, steel reinforced, anchored 5 feet into the ground. Decorative, legal, immovable. I poured it myself, smoothing the top and placing a granite cap on it like icing a cake made of revenge. Added a plaque, "Bell Garden Corner, established 2025. Neighbors wandered by. Old Mr. Henderson chuckled. "Wish I'd thought of that years ago when she fined me for painting my shutters." 3 days later, the concrete cured, cameras aimed, backup batteries charged. Monday morning, 7:47. Her BMW rounded the curve like it always did. And then, crunch! The bollard didn't move an inch. Her car folded around it like aluminum foil. Steam hissed. Her bumper disintegrated. I took a sip of my coffee. She stumbled out, mascara streaking, shrieking. "You did this on purpose?" "Well, I said you did keep using my lawn as your highway." She called the police. Officer Rodriguez arrived, measured everything, sighed, and said, "Ma'am, this post is entirely on Mr. Bell's property. You were driving off-road." She tried blaming me. He wasn't having it. Neighbors gathered. Quiet claps turned into applause. That night I became a local legend. The next morning the HOA slapped me with a $10,000 fine for unapproved structure. Then more fines. Then a city inspector, Ethan Cole, showed up smelling suspiciously like someone who'd recently cashed a bribe. But this time I wasn't just annoyed. I was armed. Surveys, videos, timestamps, neighbors, an entire community fed up with Anna's dictatorship. Rachel Kim. My attorney filed an injunction against the HOA. I filed Freedom of Information requests. Turns out Anna had reported more than 50 homeowners for bird feeders, wind chimes, paint colors, mailbox heights. And every violation magically resulted in a paid job for Greg's construction company. Fraud, construction kickbacks, collusion, jackpot. One morning Anna escalated to her dumbest idea yet. She hired a sketchy crew with an excavator claiming emergency gas repairs to dig out my bollard. No city truck. No permits, just cash and desperation. I started recording. Called 911. The cops played a voicemail from Anna to the crew. "I don't care if it's illegal. Just make sure that ugly concrete thing disappears." The silence afterward could have frozen hell. Officer Rodriguez handcuffed her on the spot. Conspiracy to commit property damage, impersonating a public official, fraud. Neighbors gathered again. Mrs. Brooks whispered, "About damn time." Greg tried retaliating, filed a lawsuit, threatened me, even showed up at my door. But the feds were already circling. Investigators found altered plats, shell accounts, bribed inspectors. And then Greg made his final mistake, sneaking into my yard at night with a jerry can of gasoline. The motion lights activated. The cameras captured everything. He was arrested before dawn. And right there, right in that moment, I knew it was over. Trials followed. Greg went down hard, nearly 2 decades in federal prison. Anna got probation and community service. The HOA was dissolved, funds frozen, assets seized. Maple Ridge Estates was placed under city management, control stripped from the people who had abused it the most. The Edwards empire collapsed piece by corrupt piece, and as the dust settled, I stood at the corner of my lawn looking at that granite-topped concrete bollard, my little act of resistance, my stubborn monument. Anna once wrote me a letter from house arrest. "You didn't ruin my life," she said. "You stopped me from helping Greg ruin everyone else's." Maybe she was right, but I didn't build that bollard for her. I built it because some boundaries, legal, moral, personal, should never be crossed. Not by bullies, not by titles, not by anyone. And if my story proves anything, it's this: concrete doesn't move, and neither should you when you're standing on what's right.